Welcome all to this video learning on the topic endocrine system. Before we tune into endocrine system and glands, let us understand the importance of endocrine system. We all are aware that life is possible only upon maintaining a homeostatic balance in the organism, which is achieved through communication and integration of various body tissues. These two major processes is achieved by two systems, namely nervous system and endocrine system. Nervous system, which consists of brain and does a pivotal role in communication and coordination. The job that is left undone by the nervous system is completed by the endocrine system. Nervous system achieves the control and coordination through electrical signaling, whereas the endocrine system does through chemical signaling, which is a complex network. Endocrine system is made up of endocrine glands. These glands are ductlets and they synthesize the hormones and secrete into the bloodstream, where they travel long distance to reach their target cells and bring out the specific effect. Let us now learn the glands present in the human body. Hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is located at the base of the brain near the optic chiasm, where the optic nerves behind each eye cross and meet. Next is the pituitary gland, which is located below the brain. The size of the gland is not larger than a pea. The gland controls many functions of other endocrine glands, hence it is called as the master gland. The gland is divided into anterior pituitary, which is otherwise called as adenohypophysis, and posterior pituitary, which is called as neurohypophysis. The next is the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is found in the front of the neck. It sits below the voice box, that is the larynx, and on top of the trachea, which is also known as the windpipe. It is butterfly-like shaped, small 2-inch gland consists of two lobes, one on each side of the windpipe, connected by a small bridge of thyroid tissue called the isthmus. Thyroid gland is made up of follicular and parafollicular cells. So posterior to the thyroid gland, we can also see the parathyroid glands, which are located posterior, medial aspect of each lobe of the thyroid gland. Anatomically, the glands can be divided into two pairs. Superior parathyroid glands, which are derived embryologically from the fourth pharyngeal pouch. They are usually located at the level of the inferior border of cricoid cartilage. The next is the inferior parathyroid glands, derived embryologically from the third pharyngeal pouch. They are usually located near the inferior poles of the thyroid gland. The next is the thymus. This is made up of two lobes, each consisting of a central medulla and outer cortex surrounded by a capsule. The thymus is made up of immature T cells called thymocytes, as well as lining cells called epithelial cells, which help the thymocytes develop. The next is the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is made up of two main parts. The adrenal cortex is the outer region and also the largest part of the adrenal gland. It is divided into three separate zones: zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata, and zona reticularis. Each zone is responsible for producing specific hormones. The adrenal medulla is located inside the adrenal cortex in the center of adrenal gland. It produces stress hormones including adrenaline. The adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla are enveloped in an adipose capsule that forms a protective layer around an adrenal gland. The next is the pancreas, which is elongated, nearly 12 to 15 centimeter long, consisting of head, body and tail region. It is located posterior to stomach with its head in the curve of duodenum. The body and tail extends laterally. The tail touches the spleen. It is dual in nature as it could perform exocrine and endocrine function. The portion of pancreas functioning as endocrine is called islets of Langerhans, which is made up of alpha, beta and delta cells. Ovaries. The female gonads are called the ovaries. Each ovary is a solid ovoid structure about the size and shape of an almond, about 3.5 centimeter in length, 2 centimeter wide and 1 centimeter thick. The ovaries are located in shallow depressions called ovarian fossae on each side of the uterus in the lateral walls of the pelvic cavity. The next is the testes, which are the male gonads. The testes are located within the scrotum with the epididymis situated on the posterior lateral aspect of each testicle. They are suspended from the abdomen by the Spermatic cord, collection of vessels, nerves and ducts that supply the testes. Originally, the testes are located on the posterior abdominal wall. So these are all the classical glands present in the human system. Glands and its hormones. Hypothalamus. Hypothalamus secretes corticotrophin releasing hormone, thyrotrophin releasing hormone, growth hormone releasing hormone, and growth hormone inhibiting hormone, prolactin releasing hormone, prolactin inhibiting hormone, gonadotrophin releasing hormone. Next is the anterior pituitary gland, which secretes adrenocorticotrophin hormone ACTH, thyroid stimulating hormone TSH, growth hormone GH, prolactin PRL, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, melanocyte stimulating hormone. The posterior pituitary gland secretes oxytocin and vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone. Next is the thyroid gland, which secretes T3, triiodothyronin, T4, thyroxine and calcitonin. The parathyroid gland secretes parathyroid hormone, and the adrenal gland, which is classified into adrenal cortex and medulla, secretes glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids, and adrenal medulla secretes epinephrine and norepinephrine. Pancreas secretes insulin and glucagon. Ovaries secrete estrogen and progesterone. Testes secretes testosterone. This is the overall summary of the glands and their hormones. We can see the hypothalamus controlling the anterior pituitary through the hypophyseal portal system, where it secretes the releasing factors, to which the anterior pituitary gland responds by secreting the stimulating hormone, which then stimulates the other target organs, and the target organ secretes specific hormones. But the neurohypophysis, that is the posterior pituitary gland, is governed by the direct stimulation action, that is the neurons from the or the extended nerve fibers from the hypothalamus. They are the sensory stimulation and osmoreceptor stimulation. Thank you all.